Coverage of the American Century Championship is sponsored by Golf NV. Locally owned, locally loved. Golf NV.
From the shores of South Lake Tahoe, we are back at Edgewood Resort for the 35th edition of the Celebrity Golf Tournament here in South Lake Tahoe. The American Century Championship returns. He's Chris Murray. I'm Mike Stephenson, and this is a very special one-hour edition of NSN Tonight as we cover, frankly, what is our Super Bowl every year. And there are Super Bowl champions who will be on our show this year. But, man, this is what we work hard all year for, to be able to come out here and have some fun.
Well, for sure. I mean, Lake Tahoe in the summer is always the place to be, but especially the second week of July. The best celebrities in the entire world, some of the best athletes in the entire world. We got music to our right, got a golf course to our left, and of course we got Lake Tahoe behind us. So very exciting week, and going to be a lot of fun as we cover this event for the 35th year it has existed.
Unbelievable. Drink her in. She always goes down smooth. Our whole Nevada Sportsnet team will be out here all week long. You're going to see all of us popping up on the desk as we bring in a bunch of celebrity guests and, of course, cover some great golf. 91 participants in the field this year, 14 newcomers. We actually have a handful of newcomers that will appear on the show today. But once we hit Friday and into the weekend, Chris, it becomes serious golf time, and it's going to be dramatic again this year, I can tell.
Yeah, you look at the last couple of years, the finishes have been fantastic. It's been some of the best finishes in this tournament's history. I would say probably 80 of the golfers here are just here for fun.
Yeah.
And then you got about a dozen who are going to be really angry if they don't leave this thing with the trophy come Sunday. So we'll talk a little bit about the competitive nature, but I think most of the fans are out here for autographs, they're here for pictures. They're here to see some of their famous stars that they've idolized throughout their entire life. So this tournament, a little bit of everything for everyone, but certainly when they get down to Sunday, the competitiveness kicks up. These are elite athletes,
and of course, Friday is round one, so we'll really dive into what's going on the course Friday through the weekend. We have one-hour editions of NSN Tonight Thursday and Friday, and then our 19th hole show over on NBC News 4 Saturday and Sunday. Let's go back to last year, though, because last year is going to be hard to top. Steph Curry is not here to defend his title last year, but what a memory it was last year as he sunk in an eagle to win the whole dang thing.
Yeah, it's not very often you need to get an eagle on the 18th hole to win a tournament. That was the situation Steph Curry was in. We've seen him hit a ton of huge shots during his NBA career, a four-time NBA champion. That was one of the biggest shots of his career, to be able to hit that eagle, scoop past Marty Fish, and get his first American Century Championship. Unfortunately, won't be here this year, but the 2 years before that, this thing went to a playoff as well. So a lot of great finishes. We do not have Steph Curry here, but that is the all-time best finish in the history of this tournament.
The guy he beat, Marty Fish, infamously had someone yell in his backswing on 18. We had a chance to catch up with Marty, though, and he wasn't sour about that moment. We talked to a few different guys about the dramatics and the epic event of last season. Is there any sourness from last year that lingers at all?
Not at all, no. Every time you come here, American Century, they do such a good job, so we're just happy to be here and want to play some good golf. Played some good golf last year, trying to play some good golf this year, and we'll see where we stand after.
And I played Saturday with Steph when he had his hole-in-one. Kind of coming to the final group again with Fish and Steph was pretty cool. And Steph, he had so many big holes throughout the week. He had, I don't know if he had 4, 5, 6 eagles, something like that. And then he gets that look on 18 that he needs, and he pours it in. So it was a great crowd.
I remember the cheers. I was grinding my way around the course, just trying to keep it in play, and I remember hearing all the roars going on. So I knew something big was happening. That was quite a good show and a great finish. Awesome putt Steph hit there at the end. So it was fantastic.
Everybody was a fan by the end of this thing. And Marty may be playing it close to the chest. The 2020 champion. He won it when there was nobody here. He's the favorite this year. You can bet he wants it.
Yeah, I mean, those guys are good friends, though, right? So Steph went out there and he earned it. I mean, he had so many tremendous shots throughout the week. And to finish 2 under for the full 3 days, that's some fantastic golf.
It really is.
The pressure was on him. He had to go to a par 5 and make it in 3 shots, and he was able to do that. But that scene, that will be hard to replicate ever in the history of this tournament, because not only was it a great shot, it was from a great guy, kind of the ambassador of this event, along with Charles Barkley. Steph Curry's kind of become the face of the ACC. So for him to go out there and win it, he called the shot earlier in the week. He said, I'm going to win this thing at some point. He did it 3 days later. So it was fantastic. And hopefully we can get some similar heroics this season.
Of course, Steph with Team USA hoops right now, but I have a feeling his heart is on the shores of South Lake Tahoe. Excited to see who holds the trophy this year, but we have a whole lot to do until then. Forgot to let you know our mobile desk is sponsored by the Legends Bake Bay Casino and the Circus Sportsbook. They help make this happen as we have an epic few days of coverage set for you, and it begins right after this. When we come back, one of the newcomers in the field and a Super Bowl champion enjoying his first summer in retirement. Jason Kelce joins the show, as does Alex Margulies, right after this.
Our coverage of the American Century Championship rolls on from the back deck at Edgewood. Mike Stephenson, Alex Margulies, Jason Kelce, first-timer here at the tournament. You said this is the first time you've actually even been to Lake Tahoe.
Never been to Tahoe, and it is gorgeous. Happy. We'll definitely be coming back, yeah.
First time walking the course today? Was that your first round?
That was my first round. It's fun. Yeah, we were on cards for a lot of it, though, so I can't say I walked the whole thing. But it was in good shape, man. The grounds crew's done a great job.
How you hitting them early into retirement?
Good. I mean, off the tee, it was fantastic today. So if I can keep doing that, I'll be happy. But, yeah, I got to work on the putting game for sure.
What do you think of this whole dynamic? You've seen little bro here for a few years, and now you get a taste of it. This is just unbelievable, is it not?
Yeah, Trev, he's been trying to get me to come out here for like 5 or 6 years. He's been raving about the event, all the guys that show up to it, all the fans, American Century. Everyone does a great job of making this just like a top flight event. So, and that's very evident in my short time here so far.
All right, so I always ask people about the lake, like the water temp.
Yeah, baby.
And it seems like the consensus this year that people are down to jump in. You said you're for sure doing it. And you actually said, like, I think you're the first person that's ever said that the water temperature you felt in Tahoe is actually, like, ideal for you.
Yeah. No, I prefer a colder water temp for sure. I got a lot of natural layers and blubber. So for me, I feel like that 60s range is ideal. And this is pretty darn close to that.
You said you keep your pool like that temp?
There's nothing more I like than swimming in like 60 to 65 degree water. Chill. It's like the perfect one.
So this is what I call Tahoe is a soul cleanse when you go in. So I want you, the first time you go in, I want you to kind of like take it all in.
All right.
Just feel the moment.
I was just going to jump in, but now I'm going to
now you're going to like take a second and just like feel it.
I'm going to make it much more spiritual.
Definitely don't ease in. I like the jump in tactic is the right tactic. Don't ease in. You got to go full blast. Now, we are in the Wild West and, of course, the Silver State of Nevada. Do you like to partake in any of the things that Nevada brings with it, including the tables, of course?
I mean, I'll dabble, but I'm not a big gambler, but I will play, especially if everyone else is doing it. Mm-hmm. It's definitely a communal thing for me. So we'll see. We'll see what the week holds.
I've seen some crazy stuff in those tables. Like, I mean, I've seen guys like win or lose like $500,000.
It gets lit at the Harris.
Oh, I'm sure. Knowing the guys that are here, they
don't play.
No, they can get after it.
All right. Is there a guy that you have been excited to meet or are excited to meet this weekend? Maybe that's like, dang, I grew up watching that guy, or just have always wanted to meet this person?
Yeah, I met him last night, Jerome Bettis. He was my favorite player growing up. It's who I wanted to be. I wanted to be a running back, and just loved watching him play. I was born in Cleveland. And I even became a makeshift Steelers fan when the Browns left to become the Ravens. Mm-hmm. So it's like sacrilegious in Cleveland. Everyone's like, "How are you a Steelers fan now?" I'm like, dude, we don't have a team anymore, man. This is my favorite player. So
when did you realize that the running back career
wasn't going to happen?
Was probably not going to happen.
Probably high school. I mean, I still ran the ball in high school.
Did you?
I did. I was I don't know, you guys familiar with the wing tee?
Yeah.
So I was a wing back.
Yeah.
And I would most of the time I was lead blocking.
Like get downhill?
Most of the time I was lead blocking, but every once in a while I get a jet sweep on the other side. I averaged 9.8 yards a carry, believe it or not.
Oh my gosh.
But minimal carries, and it was only when it was wide open they would check it, so I'd have the best looks possible. But yeah.
Tell us about your and Travis's relationship growing up. Were you like the bossy big brother, and he was kind of the pesky little brother at any time?
Well, he was definitely the pesky little brother. There's no doubt about that. He could work it. He's always been able to finagle that with mom and dad, no question.
The baby.
Yeah. As far as bossy, I don't know, man. I think
did you intimidate him? Yeah.
Of course, yeah. I think we were the same age, so we competed in everything. Not the same age, but 2 years apart, so we were close enough. And, we played every sport imaginable, played in the backyard, went down to the local elementary school, so we were always active, even in video games. And it's like, I think it was just something that I just remember constantly having those battles, and me being older and a little bit bigger usually came out on top, which was nice. but now I can't sniff a win. So
Oh man.
he's certainly grown up. And,
All right.
Yeah.
If you hadn't have played, if you hadn't have played in the NFL, what do you think you would have done?
I have no idea. I mean, the realistic answer is I probably would end up coaching if I wouldn't have finished after college. But as far as like a job, like I don't even know if I would have went to college if it wasn't for football. That's
incredible.
the reality of it. I think my parents probably would have pushed me for it, but like truly finishing it, and I have a hard time believing I wouldn't have gone into some trade or done something with my hands. But
your emotions were on full display at your retirement press conference. I think there's a gold jacket in your future. How has retirement been for you as it settles in?
I don't know. It's still settling in. Yeah. I think once the games start getting played, it'll be a lot more apparent on what that truly feels like. Right now, it's still the off season. I'm not doing that much different. Missed OTAs, but I don't know. Doesn't feel that crazy yet. I'm sure once training camp starts, I'm not doing that. Once the games start being played, then it'll fully set in.
Yeah. All right, so you guys are playing in the early kind of T period. You've got your brother, and you also have the Miz.
Miz, baby,
is your
Cleveland's
group.
Finest.
That's going to be a pretty vocal group. Like,
a lot of personality.
Is there going to be a lot of trash talk on the golf course? Like, is that part of your game? Are you going to be getting in? Are you going to get in people's ear? Like, what's your approach out there? Are you going to be kind of vocal, or are you just going to kind of play?
I definitely, when I'm on the course, I'm more worried about just hitting the ball straight myself than I am about trying to get in other people's heads. But whenever Trav's out there, I obviously always feel a little bit more comfortable being around him.
Yeah.
And I know how to poke his buttons. He knows how to poke mine, though, so I got to be careful. And the Miz, I mean, that guy has made a career of poking buttons. So I think it'll be a fun round. I can't wait to see what unfolds. Yeah.
Is there a side bet that you've?
Not yet.
Have you guys discussed anything?
Not yet. Trav gets in the night, and talked to the Miz briefly. So, we'll figure something out, I'm sure.
I feel like Travis is going to be a little more popular this year than in previous years for obvious reasons. If you could just summarize the change in both of your lives since Travis got his superstar girlfriend, Taylor Swift.
Yeah, sure. I think, obviously the demographic that is fans of both of us, but in particular Travis, has changed. And now the fan base that Taylor Swift has done an unbelievable job of building throughout her career is now been introduced to the sport of football, which – I think I speak for Travis and I that we are very honored to welcome new fans into the game. I think, one of the greatest joys that I've had is hearing, fathers and daughters sitting down and having something to bond over now, watching football. And I think that that coming at the hands of one of the most ferociously vocal and passionate fan bases in the world has been fun. Yeah.
I gotta give a shout out to your podcast that
thanks,
you and
man.
your brother have done, because I love seeing snips of it. I think you guys have one of the most authentic shows that's out there.
Yeah.
How much fun have you had being able to do this? I imagine when you started it, you didn't necessarily maybe expect the way it's taken it off.
You're one
the
of
way
us
that it
now.
has.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But you guys just do such a good job of just having fun with it. So as like someone in our industry, even just as a fan, like I personally enjoy it. But how much fun are you having being able to have this kind of platform just to kind of talk and talk smack and tell stories? And
Yeah, I mean, it's the thing that I like most about it, especially being a player, is now all of a sudden you don't have to go through like another media member to talk to your fans and to correlate.
Like if there's something
what
you want to say, you can say it, right?
It's the most direct connection you can have to a viewer or a fan, and not that there's any way wrong with the other way, but whenever somebody's writing an article, they're going to do it through their lens and your lens. And now this is something that's something very organic about our podcasting.
Agreed.
And to be able to do that with Travis, where obviously whenever I'm talking to him, I already feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And to be able to have a week where once a week we sit down and talk, which, before we did that, we go months sometimes without talking to each other. It's just the reality of it. So
helps keep the connection alive.
yeah, man, we've talked more since doing this podcast 2 years ago than we probably did in the first 11 years combined. So it's been a lot of fun. It's really awesome that we've been able to do it together, and we just, we enjoy doing it, and we're happy that people enjoy watching it.
Oh yeah, it's going to keep on growing, I can imagine. Eagles fans versus Swifties, different kind of crazy or what?
I don't know, man. Eagles fans are crazy.
I know that.
Like, I think it's
different.
with Eagles, you have generational,
Right.
family ties. I still remember winning the Super Bowl, and a person having an urn with them because they promised this dead relative that they'd be at the parade when the Eagles won their first Super Bowl.
my God.
So like you're dealing with generational type fandom there, but I think with what Taylor's built is just like there's just so much, fandom just for her, and what she's been able to accomplish as a musician, as a producer, as a songwriter, as a performer, the hats that she has worn, and the perspective and strength and sword fellowship isn't the right word, but just
Community
the community that she's offered women in particular has been remarkable. Yeah.
That's good stuff, and you guys are a big part of that now.
Yeah.
You got to pick to win this thing over the weekend?
I don't know, man. I don't even know who's good here. Trav is. I'd be curious to see where his game's at. He can surprise you, especially when people are there. He has always been a gamer. He plays better when fans are there. There's something about him, and it's been that way in football. It's been that way in every sport he's ever played. He'll win the freaking karaoke contest. I mean, it's just who he is, so it wouldn't surprise me at all.
All right, I don't want to set you up, but I kind of feel like as like an offensive lineman, you're probably going to get a different type of fan on 17. I imagine like the beer bongs are probably going to be out. Like
Let's do it, baby.
They're probably going to
fireball
ask you
shots,
like to shotgun a
Already
beer.
shotgun one today,
Are you
yeah.
going to be okay if someone hands you a shotgun over there in 17? You game for that?
There's no doubt I'm okay with that.
Tired.
The real thing is just going to be trying to minimize it so that I can functionally
Yeah, you
golf.
can only do like one or two.
Yeah,
like 8 later, you might not
I got
be able to see
offered
the
like
ball.
12 of them today. I'm like, guys, I can't do 12 shotguns.
We got a long weekend. We got a long weekend.
We're at altitude here.
Jason, pleasure, man. Welcome to Lake Tahoe. We're glad to have you.
Thanks
so
for
much
having
fun.
me, guys.
Thank
I
you, man.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Cool.
All right, lots more to come here on our special edition of NSN Tonight at the American Century Championship next.
Coverage of the American Century Championship is sponsored by Golf NV. Locally owned, locally loved. Golf NV.
Our coverage of the American Century Championship rolls on from the backwood. 3, 2, 1. Our coverage of the American Century Our coverage of the American Century Championship rolls on from the back deck at Edgewood Tahoe with Chris Murray, Alex.
Coverage of the American Century Championship is sponsored by Golf NV. Locally owned, locally loved. Golf NV.
Our coverage of the American Century Championship rolls on from the back deck at Edgewood Tahoe with Chris Murray, Alex Margulies, and Trevor Lawrence, quarterback, making his debut here on the shores of Lake Tahoe. A little bit different than the environments you're used to being in Florida and at Clemson, but man, how good is this?
Not a bad view. It's definitely not a bad view. No, it's beautiful out here. It's nice to get away from the humidity in Jacksonville for a week. So it's a nice vacation for us, and just the whole event. I mean, it's first class, and everyone's great. Everyone treats everyone so well, and just to build the relationships and meet all the people out here has been a lot of fun. I have my parents out here and my wife, so it's great.
Has this kind of been a bucket list item? Is this a tournament you've seen on TV and wanted to come out to before?
So I've always seen it on TV, and I didn't know a ton about it until the last couple years. And then Coach Peterson, who's been coming the last 5 years, he's the last 2 years been telling me how awesome it is, and if I ever get the opportunity, I got to come out. So he was kind of lobbying for me, and got invited this year. So I made sure to set that week aside, and we made it out, and I'm glad we did, because this is amazing. I mean, obviously this place is beautiful, but all the people is really cool too.
All right, so a lot of people had come here, and they refuse to jump in Lake Tahoe. You said you've already been in twice?
Been in twice. I love it.
Let's go.
It's nice to get some cold water. I mean, even our water in Florida right now is warm. The ocean's warm.
It does not cool you off. Yeah.
No, our pool is like 93 degrees right now. It's just, so this is nice. I like this.
Yeah, not 93 degrees out here, but a little bit hotter than usual. I guess let's talk about your golf game. I guess, how do you stack up, and are you looking forward to compete out here, or are you out here to have fun?
Of course I'm going to compete. I'm going to try to win it, but I mean, being realistic, golf is one of those sports where you don't just find it overnight and go win the tournament. So I mean, I'm okay. It depends how I play. Didn't play great today. Just hope I hit it well and give myself an opportunity to compete a little bit and have some fun and just play as good as I can play. That's all I can ask for. So, but I'm all right. You know, I'm not gonna say I should pick up golf instead of football or anything like that.
All right. So there's a lot of former and current quarterbacks out here in the field. There's obviously a lot of NFL guys. Period. Do you have any like side wagers? Is there anybody that you like have to beat this week that you're really like, okay, as long as I'm just do better than this guy, you'll be happy?
I mean, I would say probably Coach Peterson. He's definitely, the problem is he's a better golfer than I am. So, I mean, we've played a few times in the past, and he's beat me pretty bad a couple times. I've hung in there with him when I played decent, but he just is way more consistent than me. So we'll see. Over 3 days, consistency might take it. So hopefully I can put 3 good days together.
Obviously, a lot of star athletes out here, but also celebrities. Did you look at the list? Is there anybody you want to meet? Any celebrities or a guy like John Elway? I'm sure you grew up knowing his game and watching him.
Yeah, I mean obviously a guy like John Elway is a legend, a quarterback too. So kind of in the same field. So it's cool. I'm playing with him tomorrow, so I'm excited for that. And just to pick his brain a little bit. Obviously, we'll be playing in the tournament, so I won't get to do it as much as I'd like. But just to hang out with him, and my dad will be caddying for me. So for my dad to meet John and guys like that, it's really cool, and I'm excited for him to have that experience too. A lot of guys. I mean, Miles Teller obviously is just a super cool guy. I've been talking to him at the hotel a little bit, and it's cool seeing all these people. You see them on TV, whether they're athletes or actors or actresses or whatever celebrities they are. Then you meet them, and they're all just super down to earth, good people, and at the end of the day, we're all just people. So it's cool to see these guys and women too out here, and they're all just so nice and down to earth.
Is there an area of your golf game that you're most confident in, and maybe an area that you're least confident in terms of the way you play?
My short game, I'd be most confident in.
Okay.
Chipping and putting. Putting is depends on the day. I always putt okay, sometimes good, and then chipping, I feel pretty confident in. Off the tee is the one area where that is. You don't know what you're going to get.
Keep your head on a swivel when Trevor's out there this weekend on the tee box.
As long as you're even with the tee box, you're good. But in front of it, you could be in danger.
I want to ask you a question about one of your Jaguars teammates, Elijah Cooks. You throw it to him, a wide receiver, played at Nevada. We covered him here for 5 years, ended his career at San Jose State. Was a rookie last year, made the team undrafted. I guess what were your thoughts on his season, and what are you looking forward to with him?
That's what you guys called him?
Yeah,
Cookie.
Yeah, he's a funny guy. He's a character, I'm sure, as you guys know. But he's great. He came in last year, obviously, with not a ton of expectations, an undrafted guy, and he kind of blew us away in camp. Like, he just had a great camp, was making every play, big receiver, goes up and gets the ball. Really, and that's something that you can't teach. Just going up and getting it, and the size he has, can run too. And I think he's had a great year. I guess he's been here a little over a full year now, and I thought he's done a great job. And obviously, we got a crowded receiver room, so he's gonna have his work cut out for him. And I think he's made of the right stuff, and I definitely think he can do it and be a really valuable asset for us and make a lot of plays for us. So I'm excited to see him, just to continue to develop. Obviously, he has a great skill set and a lot of talent, and can help us. And just excited to see him in camp this year.
All right, I got to ask you about the flow. I get people that tell me that I need to cut my hair at this point, but I'm kind of letting it go. So, like, hair regime, are you this thing? Look how straight your hair is. Mine gets kind of curly. Like, are you straightening? Are you washing?
No.
Are you a daily washer? Like, what's the Trevor Lawrence hair routine? Because it looks immaculate.
I appreciate it. We're just different genes. You got the curls, I got the straight hair. I try not to wash it. I usually wash it every day. I try not to.
I'm like a once a week guy.
It's not great for. That's probably better. You got healthier hair than I do.
Maybe.
But it's just I sweat so much working out in Jacksonville. Fair. The humidity, you sweat so much. It's like hard to not wash your hair every day. So I try not to, but usually I do. That's it though. Just shampoo, conditioner.
I don't really want to talk about hair because mine has been gone for a little while now. So we'll move on topic. You are going to become a first-time father. You're going to have a girl. You said your wife is out here. I guess how much are you looking forward to being a dad, and how do you feel like that might change your life?
I'm really excited. Everybody says it changes your life completely, and I think just your perspective and what's important. Obviously, being a dad is, just seeing, obviously my dad in my life and seeing other people and the impact that fathers have on their kids, and it's an important job, the most important job I think that you can have. So I'm excited to step into that, and obviously it's a big responsibility, but we're ready for it, and we're really excited. We're having a girl, so it's exciting, and that's going to be unique, and obviously some challenges with that I'm sure I wouldn't have expected, but we can't wait. We're excited.
All right, before I let you go, I pointed this out and you sat down. I've already come through with the coolest hat of the entire weekend. It's like the old school like cafeteria logo, and you said that you just like found it. It's not like a set thing.
Just found it online. I was like, that looks cool.
I think that needs to be like the
cups.
Trevor Lawrence. You think you might need to like get that branded somehow? Best hair this weekend for sure. First time here at the ACC, soon to be dad. Welcome to Lake Tahoe. We appreciate you having you on.
Thank you guys. Thanks for having me.
All right.
Boy, Trevor Lawrence, nearly as beautiful as Lake Tahoe. What a guy. Coming up next year on our special edition of NSN Tonight, Austin Reeves joins the show, the LA Lakers star guard, another first-timer here in South Lake. Bonus question, biggest name in your contact list. Can you name drop it for us?
I could, but I'm not going to.
Yep.
I'm not a big name drop guy. You know what? I think he's out here. Maybe Pena. Michael Pena. I like seeing him out here, too. He's awesome.
A big name.
He's awesome. He's fantastic. Good player, too.
Biggest name in my contact? Well, probably Timberlake.
That's a big one.
He's not here.
No JT this year.
Yeah, he's not here.
Biggest name on my phone? Oh, I don't know.
He's like me.
yeah, you?
Was Ben Affleck before he changed the number. Kenny Chesney, he's on speed dial. He's got Uncle Kevin on speed dial. I'd say Kenny Chesney right now.
I mean, obviously, I think Braun has got to be up there. You know, shout out to Braun, great human.
Can we call him now?
No, I don't know. He's probably practicing for the USA team.
I knew that was coming. Austin, thanks so much for the time.
Welcome back to NSN Tonight, hanging out on the shores of South Lake Tahoe. There's Chris Murray, and in between us, Austin Reeves of the Los Angeles Lakers, a first-timer here at the American Century Championship. How's it been so far, man?
Oh, it's been great. I've played 2 rounds out here. I think it's Tuesday and Wednesday. I think today's Thursday. I don't know. But it's been great. This place is freaking beautiful. The course is in great conditions. Greens are fast. And really, can't wait to get started.
Take us behind the scenes of getting the invitation to come out here. Only 91 athletes and celebrities. It is very difficult to get out here. Is this something you'd wanted to do for a while?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like I've said a million times already this week, like I'm a golf fiend. Like that's if I'm not playing basketball, I'm watching golf, I'm playing golf, I'm watching some type of golf, big into like the YouTube golf stuff. So when I got that call, it was a couple months before the season was over and the USA stuff was still up in the air. So it was kind of, if I didn't make the USA team, then I was going to be here. But if I did, then I'd have to go there, which either way, that's a win-win. But obviously I didn't get the invite and I'm here and I'm really happy about being here.
You're an Arkansas kid living in LA, first timer out here at Lake Tahoe. What are your impressions of just our scenery out here? And I know you got to dip yourself in that water.
Yeah, this place is, I mean, from the time we, crest the mountain up there, you could see the lake. Like I was like, this is amazing. The water's beautiful. Like I said, the course is beautiful. Just the area around. Both of my parents are coming. My mom is renting an Airbnb probably 15 minutes away. So we drove up, seemed like on the side of a mountain and the tall trees. But this is ideal. Like I love like this scenery stuff with the lake. And like you said, we did a little commercial for Travis Matthews this morning out on the water, and I jumped in. It felt pretty good. It wasn't too cold until I got out and we started driving. Then the wind got me, but this place is awesome.
Let's talk a little bit about the golf. A lot of people are here just for the fun. It seems like you're here to win. A lot of competitiveness.
For sure.
What is your mindset as you head into Friday's first round?
Win. I mean, I don't want to say it's that simple. It's not. Golf is hard, but I mean, it doesn't really matter what I'm doing. Cards, basketball, darts, pool. If I'm playing, I'm not playing to have fun. My family gets mad at me a lot because when I play and I lose, I'm no fun to be around. So they tell me it's no fun. So maybe they should let me win more.
You got a best story about that? Throwing a tantrum after losing a game?
I mean, I have an older brother that's 2 years older than me. So growing up, I never won. Like I was always, he was always taller, stronger. We'd play one-on-one. We'd play wiffle ball in the yard, and he would beat me all the time. And so like every time I'm storming in the house, pissed off because I didn't win, but it was I probably needed that at a young age because it built that fire in me to at this point like losing's way worse than winning is fun. So you try to stay away from losing.
All right, we need to hash this out again. We talked about it on yesterday's show. On Monday, Chris and I gave our picks. Chris has got the favorite, Marty Fish. Hard to bet against Marty. I took you. Chris said no top 5 for Austin Reeves. We've got a lunch on it. How you feeling about my chances, man?
I like your chances. I mean, I think everybody's talking about, first-time jitters, which I'm sure is a real thing. But I've been out here the last couple of days, and yesterday there was people around watching, following us, and, there will be today. So hopefully I can knock those off. I played in a Monday qualifier for the Korn Ferry Tour, and that was really the first time I'd ever really been nervous playing golf, and there was literally nobody there. I was just nervous because the people that I was playing with were good, and I was, I'm not a golfer, I'm a basketball player, but I like your chances. You're a good man for taking me.
Oh, man, what do you think of the course? You mentioned being on the side of the mountain. We really are. What do you think of Edgewood?
It's awesome. You got the elevation, which you can hit. I typically hit my 60-degree 95 yards, but I can pull it from 110 to 112. So you're hitting a lot of wedges into greens, which, in the past, that's what I've felt comfortable most with is my wedges. But I think it's actually gettable. I mean, I think if you keep the ball in the fairway, like I said, you'll have wedges into greens, and then at that point, it's just making putts. And it sounds really easy, but it's not. But if you go put a good round together, you can score well.
Yeah. So obviously a basketball star. I know you were an all-star in baseball, shortstop, leadoff hitter. What got you into golf? When did you start playing, and what? I mean, it seems like it's got its claws in you.
Yeah, it's got me pretty good. I played in high school, but I didn't really love it. I just hated school that much that I wanted to get out of school. So that was my main thing, was to get out of class if I could. So I joined the golf team, and then my senior year I started taking more interest into it because I seen myself getting a little better. I started actually playing the game the correct way. Like I used to just grip it like a baseball bat and just swing away, but started thinking the game a little more. And I think that's the part that really got me, is like the mental aspect of it. You had to be, locked in on every shot, regardless if you hit a good one, you hit a bad one. You got to go do the same thing again. So probably it was probably my sophomore year of Wichita State when I, really dove into it and was like, I love this game. And like I said earlier, I didn't play a lot my rookie year because I'm, keeping the main thing because, that's the reason I'm here is basketball. And like I said yesterday, like I'm still working out as I'm out here. So I'm going to a local high school gym, getting work in before I come out here. But my rookie year, I didn't play as much, just trying to figure out the ways of the NBA. But after that, I travel with my clubs everywhere. Even if we're going to a cold city, I'll find a simulator somewhere.
Let's get a couple Lakers questions in if we could. Pretty big offseason, and two of the biggest headlines. J.J. Redick is your new head coach, and Bronny James is going to play with his father, which is just going to be unbelievable. What do you think about this offseason and those two storylines?
Yeah, I mean, we'll just start with the coach first. J.J., I think he's a brilliant basketball mind. We've had a good conversation a couple weeks ago about kind of what we, see going forward. I think I'm going to go to Vegas after this, for the summer league stuff and meet up with them, work out a little bit. So super excited about that. I went on his podcast near the middle of last season, and just, you can tell by the way, just talking to him, the way he, sees the game and the way he can manipulate the game as a basketball mind, which is beautiful. And can't wait to get to work with him. And then, like you said, Bronny, like,
it's unbelievable.
It's a testament to both of them, but to Brian for playing as long as he has, to still be in tip-top shape, condition, the time that he spends on his body, the time he spends in the gym. Like, his work ethic is second to none, and you tip your hat off to a guy like that, because this is obviously the first time this has ever happened. And I can't wait to get to LA and work with Bronny. He's going to always get a bad rap just because, who his father is, and everybody's going to think, this because he, that's the reason he got drafted, but he's put in the work, and you can tell he's an elite athlete that can guard, and, I really believe that he can, pave his own way in the NBA, and super excited to, get to know him better.
What's going to be your advice to him? Because you were an undrafted player, not one of the best players in the league. He was a late second-round draft pick with a lot of doubters. What's going to be, maybe your couple of pieces of thing on how to get to where you've gotten?
Yeah, I mean, if LeBron's my dad, I don't know if I'm listening to Austin Reeves. But, no, I mean, I'm sure he already knows, because he's been in the spotlight forever because who his dad is. So he knows how to, work the lay of the land. He knows how he's got to put the work in, but just keep his head down and do all the right things, which I know he does. Because when you got Bron, been so methodical and so like on point his whole career, like that kind of throughout the years, you see that and you want to do that. So I know he's got a good head on his shoulders, and he'll work to get where he needs to go.
Are you a little bummed that Curry's not out here so you can prove that you're the best golfer in the NBA?
Yeah, I wish he was out here. Anybody that wins anything should have an opportunity to defend their title the next year. But shout out to him and everybody at the USA team that's in my opinion going to win gold, and I'll be watching and rooting for him. But yeah, I wish he was out here because. You hear who the best golfer in the league is, and obviously he's a hell of a golfer. But I like my chances, and I'm sure he likes his.
You guys will go mano a mano next year. You got anything else for Austin?
Let's say you get to Sunday and you win. Are you going in the lake to celebrate? What's your celebration?
Me and my best friend's my caddy this year. He don't know nothing about caddying. We're coming to have a good time. If he told me it's going left, I probably would see it going right. But we already hand shook if. Make a putt on 18 to win. We're shaking everybody's hand and we're hitting the rail and we're gone. We're diving in. So
all right, here we go.
You'll see it if it happens.
We'll be there for that moment. We're actually going to mic up Austin and his boy Trent. You'll see that piece over the weekend on our 19th hole show. Man, we can't thank you enough for the time, and I'm excited to see you in that final group on Sunday, and I'm excited to have Chris buy me some lunch, man.
Love that.
Go
Love
get him,
that.
bro.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all.
All right, we're back right after this on NSN Tonight. Favorite golf movie?
It's got to be Caddyshack.
Happy Gilmore. Yeah, it's got to be.
Ooh, a lot of good ones. I guess I'll go Tin Cup. I like Kevin Costner quite a bit. That was a classic.
Tin Cup. Just kind of, who hasn't done that? Grab the ball, try to get over the water. Give me another one. Give me another one. So I'd say that one because we've all been there.
I'm ashamed to say I'd actually never heard of the movie Tin Cup. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, Kevin Costner.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, he kind of gets, the ego gets in the way and he keeps hitting the ball in the water, runs out of balls. I'm going to go Caddyshack 2. That might be my worst opinion in the history of my opinions. I actually like Caddyshack 2 more than the regular Caddyshack.
Okay, it just has a soft spot in your heart, I
For
guess.
whatever reason, yeah.
I'm with my guy AR, Happy Gilmore, Top of the Mountain. I admittedly haven't seen a lot of golf movies, so if I'm being completely honest. Hey, we want to, again, send a special shout-out to our sponsors here at the ACC, Golf NV, and also the Legends Bay Casino and the Circus Sportsbook. I want to let you know, next Tuesday, the place to be is the Circus Sportsbook inside the Legends Bay Casino in Sparks for the Victory Viewing Series. It is the Major League All-Star Game. First pitch, 5 o'clock. They're going to have giveaways. They've got a lot of brand new equipment and screens and a lot of fun and deals. And so head over to Legends Bay Casino, where we do our show once a month, of course, to watch the MLB All-Star Game. You got an early pick as you handicap the All-Star Game?
I go National League because I'm a Dodgers guy. I'm not sure that I know the odds of that. But to me, it's the best All-Star Game out there because it's the closest facsimile to what the actual game looks like. So I'm looking forward to the All-Star Game. Great place to watch it out there in Circa.
I tell you what, day one just about in the books here at the ACC for the Nevada Sportsnet crew, but we are continuing to work our butts off, and we hope you stick with us throughout the weekend. We have another hour edition of NSN Tonight coming up Friday, and then over on News 4, don't forget, Saturday and Sunday, we're covering the tournament like nobody else on your 19th hole show. For Chris, I'm Mike. Shout out to Alex Margulies and our entire team. We'll see you tomorrow at the American Century Championship.